Here we go, let's do this. I am Travis Raycheck, and this is Beyond the Sport. We are knocking on the door of the big dance, and our big payoff a little later is all about how we individually construct our lives to watch the tournament and some of those moments that have stuck with us forever. Like, I'll always remember the 1995 UCLA team, how good I thought they were, led by the O'Bannon brothers. Another O'Bannon is actually playing college basketball right now, hoping for his March moment. Robbie Fueling has more with him.
When Chuck O'Bannon takes the court, he's a lot of things. A son, a player, a teammate. But maybe the best way to describe him is a competitor.
Anything I do in life, I'm a competitor. I always want to win. Anything I do. Like last night I was just playing Uno. I almost went crazy.
Those competitive genes can be traced back to his father, Charles, and his uncle Ed, both teammates of the 1995 UCLA National Championship team.
And some magic on the floor. Jim Herrick and UCLA can hang a banner in Westwood.
I never really understood what was so special about a national championship, because me playing AAU, I won championships every other weekend, so I was like, I'm like, okay, whoop-de-doo, whatever.
Over the years, though, Chuck's perspective on winning a national title has changed dramatically.
I've been in college 6 years, been to the tournament once.
He knows postseason opportunities in March are not given and extremely hard to come by. So having a father with a decorated legacy makes it all the more special when he does step foot on the game's biggest and brightest stage.
He's my best friend growing up. I was the only child growing up. So, my mom and my dad, those are the closest people to me.
Much like his father, Chuck's collegiate career started in Southern California. Only the threads he sported were cardinal and gold, not blue and gold. His time as a Trojan was short-lived, though. After 2 season-ending injuries in back-to-back years, Chuck found himself at a crossroads.
I started to notice, at USC, that things wasn't going in my way. I turned into the hurt guy. They're starting to try to recruit over me, stuff like that. So I told myself it would be better to start somewhere else.
What I found is that he's got a great personality. He enjoys life. He has fun. He laughs.
And he also balls out.
Tough three. Got it! Oh, my! Chuck O'Bannon from the corner.
When I first got here, this was, I don't want to say we were a losing program, but we lost a lot of games here. We were below 500. It was a struggle around here, but at the same time, we saw a vision.
The vision of head coach Jamie Dixon, with player additions like Mike Miles, Damian Baugh, Jacoby Coles, Xavier Cork, and Chuck O'Bannon. The Horned Frogs were equipped to compete with any program in the country.
We were a relatively young team last year, compared to the other teams in the league. So, obviously that builds excitement for the following year.
Especially after Coach Dixon planted the seed for this group to have one last dance.
We're all thinking to ourselves, and it kind of just went to the point you want to come back? Yeah. You want to come back too? Yeah. All right, let's do it. It wasn't too much of a discussion.
Oh, there we go.
It's been one heck of a journey for me, and I'll, love to take it to the next level. I want to do something that hasn't been done before, simple as that. I want to go places I've never been before. And for my team, I feel that we all feel the same way.
TCU headman Jamie Dixon facing a little controversy this week after racist accusations from one of his players, Eddie Lampkin, but it hasn't reached anything to the level that went on at Texas Tech. Somewhat similar allegations coming out last weekend against Coach Mark Adams. And by Wednesday night, Adams was done at Tech after just 2 seasons. The lesson in all of this, I guess, is that nobody won when Chris Beard left Lubbock for Texas, except, I don't know, maybe Beard, he's going to get a job 3 months after he did whatever he did. Hey, if you're a college sports fan, you just kind of accept the filth underneath the fingernails that comes with it. High school sports, it's not perfect, but it does still offer pieces of purity that are unmatched anywhere else, and that was on full display last weekend at the girls' state basketball tournament.
It had been 9 years in the waiting for Waco La Vega. It means everything to us. These girls deserve everything that they're getting.
A win with incredible meaning, especially for junior Kylia Parr.
I feel like if my dad was here right now, he would ask me for whatever I wanted. My dad is a big gift giver, so anytime any great accomplishment happens, he'll go above and beyond for me.
A state championship is certainly deserving of a big prize. It is a moment Kylia's family dreamed of a while back, before her father passed a few years ago.
My freshman year before my dad passed, we were actually talking about it. They were like, we're ready to book rooms. We ended up falling short that year, and now he's not here, but I know he's with me right here.
While Dad was watching from above, Mom has been her support in the stands and was there for a memorable post-game moment.
I always feel like my mom makes the biggest sacrifices ever for me. She takes me to Dallas to practices on days she has to work. She takes off for me. She does anything she's able to do to make sure I'm in the gym, get into practice, doing anything to make my life successful.
That moment of embrace can be the sweetest step in a championship celebration. Frisco Liberty's Journey Harris understands that.
Amazing. I mean, my dad's literally been there to step away from when I got injured. Not even from when I got injured, when I was 3 years old, like just there. Like my mom, she coached volleyball. My dad always coached basketball. Mom, sorry, but she used to get jealous because I would always be on the basketball court. So from when I was 3 years old, my dad's just always been there. And when we got the news that I was cleared, first one crying, first one hugging. I mean, everybody cried because it was just like a relief. So, yeah, that's my guy.
Journey needed that support when she tore her ACL and missed all of last season. The rehab was a grueling process, but the thought of winning a title was the ultimate push for her.
From the moment I got injured, I went by, you didn't come this far just to come this far. So when I didn't want to come, I was just, I'm coming to see my teammates. I'm coming to be there for them. I knew they needed me. So that was my drive, seeing them every day, making sure that I have their back, they have my back.
And look, maybe no family has been waiting longer for that final win hug than the Roberson family of San Antonio, and it finally came last Saturday. Ariana Roberson has parents and a handful of brothers and sisters that have all played sports in college and even professionally, but she's the one with a title.
It's a special moment for me because I'm the first one in the family to win the state and get the MVP, so knowing that I'm doing it for my family really helped a lot, and it was just a special moment.
A moment that Ariana made happen. At one point in the game, Clark was down 33-30 in the third quarter. She would score the final 12 points for the Cougars and bring home the school's first championship.
So definitely we were down by a couple, and then we were tied, so being able to demand that ball and do what I do best and help my team out and giving them that boost and that lead really helped a lot.
Solid defense. She hit shots for us. She hit free throws. She got huge rebounds for us, blocked some shots for us. The poise that she's played with as a junior is phenomenal.
When we come back, we give you what you really want. A full overreaction to week one of spring football at Texas. And can Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers win dual Heismans in the same year? Maybe that's going a little bit far, but we'll lean into the hype. Texas started spring football practice this week, and the cycle of eternal Longhorn optimism gets cranking again. UT does return 10 starters on offense. That's great, except that one guy not coming back is Bijan Robinson. Not as great. But they have two of the most coveted QB recruits ever battling it out for the starting spot, and that is where the focus will be fixated.
There may be a better quarterback room in the country, but find me a more interesting one. Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning aren't really seeking out all the attention, but it follows them. Quinn found that out last year, and now just multiply it by like 10 with Arch.
We make a big deal out of the guy losing his ID twice the first couple of weeks of school, you know? So he's a freshman in college, you know? But he does take it serious, and he wants to be really good.
It means almost nothing what he's done this first week of practice because that sample size is so small. But It's Arch, so how's he looking?
There's some plays for sure that he would love to have back. And there's some other plays that he made. I think everybody was like, wow, that was a heck of a play. So, again, true freshman, should still be in high school. But, he brings definitely a worker's mentality.
Football IQ, a whole lot of football IQ. He got a good arm on him, and very personable guy. And I'm excited to see him.
Will we see him this year, or is Quinn QB1?
Quinn has an entire year of a head start, but I don't want to hold Arch back. I want to see how far he can take this thing and what it can look like.
And what about fresh-faced U-Verse? No longer is he the mullet man with a bird's nest beard.
Sometimes your appearance / perception precedes you, and then you almost have to overcome yourself, right? And so all of a sudden now the guy gets a haircut and he cleans his beard up a little bit, and everyone thinks Quinn's real serious right now.
It is actually laughable to think a spring shave all of a sudden makes him a better QB. But what might help is experience, something the 5-star make-all-the-throw signal caller didn't have last year.
So there's a lot on his mind that it's like when the gears are moving, but there's no WD-40 in there, as those gears were grinding. And it felt that way for him pretty much all year long. This winter, it just feels natural. And I think what he's done, he's serving for Arch of, hey, this is what it looks like, and this is how to go about your business.
So you're saying Quinn struggled a little bit to pick things up last year. I get it, and look, hey, we all saw it. The thing is, if only Texas had another capable QB with a little more experience and understanding of Sark's offense, I don't know, what would that have looked like? Well, speaking of backup QBs, things don't look great for Malik Murphy ever to crack the 2 deep. He starts spring ball sidelined with another injury and falls further behind those other 2 guys. Also, we mentioned that missing Bijan Robinson is going to be a big deal, and in Indianapolis last week, the former Longhorn running back was just that, a big deal at the NFL Combine. He and a sizable group of guys with Texas ties made noise in front of NFL scouts. Our Victor James takes a look at a few of them and what they're going to bring to the next level.
I need your blessing. Can I name my firstborn child?
Bro, if you name your first child after me, give me a call so I could see that. That's awesome. For me, it's just I wanna be my own self. I'm just trying to just enjoy this process, and I know that people compare me a lot, but for me, it's just me just trying to be myself and just be the man that God blessed me to be.
How are you guys? I think interviews just get to know me as a person. I think, a lot of it shows up on tape. Getting to talk ball, getting to get on the board, talk protections, talk scheme. On the field, just go out and show you're a consistent passer. You got velocity, your footwork's all cleaned up, and, you want to compete against the best.
For me, it's just one of the things that every single day, just going to work. That's how it's been my entire career at Kansas State. And it's not going to be any change once I get to this next level. Just going to work. People will say it'll be an uphill climb. But for me, man, it's always been an uphill climb in my career.
I'm 100%. I feel good. I'm ready to go out here and attack and show, my skill set. Wherever you ask me to be, I can be outside, inside, pitching me the ball, punt return, wherever you need me to be, I'm the type of guy to get it done.
Man, it's lit, fool, for sure. Obviously Temple's a small town, not a lot of people make it out. From making it out of there to doing good in college, putting on for them, the kids looking up to me is something that makes me think about everything that I've been through, and then everybody that looks up to me it's just like I said, something very special.
Some former Longhorns were back on the field Thursday in front of NFL scouts. It was UT's Pro Day. You got Roshan Johnson, DeMarvion Overshone, and Keandre Coburn taking part in on-field drills. Overshone got some oohs and ahs with a 36.5-inch vertical jump. Safety Anthony Cook also creating a little bit of buzz for himself, as those who weren't invited to the combine out there trying to improve their draft stock. All right, when we come back, it is Texas Next time, and this young woman had her time on the biggest stage last weekend. We'll meet one of the most promising freshmen in the state. Keep it right here. When things got tight in the fourth quarter of the title game for Frisco Liberty last weekend, they leaned on the calming presence of a freshman to score the biggest buckets of the game. But she's no ordinary 15-year-old. Our Robbie Fueling with a proper introduction to a future star in Texas Next.
JCIB, I play guard, and I play for Liberty Redhawks. My favorite part about basketball is like the freedom, like how much you can do with just a ball and a hoop, and like there's so many options in every little play, so I think that's my favorite part. I played basketball, picked up a basketball around 3 years old. I was actually like watching my brothers play basketball, like from whenever I could actually understand what I was seeing. I would not be where I am today without them, just because of the competitive aspect you have with them, and just always having someone to compete with, and honestly someone to look up to as well. So it was honestly a really nice deal having both of them in there, both of them in the house, and just being able to look up to both of them.
Who wins on most occasions on one-on-ones?
One-on-ones, I gotta give it to the oldest one, Micaiah, but I think that's only because he knows how the other two play. So. I'm not gonna lie, I feel really satisfied just being able to raise the bar really high for myself and people around me. I think that that's a really important thing, just to be able to hold yourself to high standards, so that feels really nice.
What's been the reception just in the hallways of the school just on Monday and Tuesday, walking through as a state champion?
Monday was really crazy because not only was it fresh like the first day back, but we had our medals. The whole team decided to wear our medals that day. So there was a lot of congratulations, good job. So it was just a lot going on. It was really nice. I get that one. I got some offers from Texas A&M, Liberty University, Ole Miss, Baylor, Texas Tech, SMU, Florida, UCLA, Alabama, Oklahoma. I think I'm best at like being able to find my teammates and just making sure that like the right play is made. A lot of people are telling me it's gonna be over in a blink of an eye. Just know that you have a plan B and stuff, and I think that basketball is my plan B. So even if I don't end up being a player, I just want to go into it in my career, whether I'm coaching or training or whatever that might be.
It is now our time to talk about the tourney before we get totally immersed in it next week. So we got the guys here, Robbie Fueling, Victor James, and instead of giving picks and bracket breakdown and all that stuff you can get everywhere else, we just want to talk about our favorite parts of the tournament and maybe a couple memories that have made it special for us. So I'm going to start and say that for me, the first Thursday of the tournament is probably my favorite day on the sports calendar all year. For a long time, I would take that Thursday off and just set up the TVs, the laptops, as many screens as I could gather and just not move for like 10 hours. Now, if I did want to move and actually go to a game, I've been to a couple tourney games over the years, and I would have to say, though, that my favorite was a trip to Memphis in 2009 to watch North Carolina in the Elite Eight, and I got to go with my brother on that trip. And look, most of my best and worst tourney moments revolve around the Tar Heels. They're my team. Luckily, that day, we got to see Carolina cut down the nets, make the Final Four. They beat a Blake Griffin Oklahoma team, went on to win the national title. They have won 4 national titles in my lifetime. We don't necessarily need to speak about last year, or we don't need to go back a couple years when some guy from Villanova hit a buzzer beater.
Yeah, Trav, those are awesome. And, you know, for me personally, I just keep it simple. My favorite part about the NCAA tournament is the music. I love hearing the March Madness theme song. I kind of compare it to hearing All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey the day after Thanksgiving, just to get in that Christmas spirit. Because typically on March 1st, even though tournament's just a couple weeks away, I look up that song on YouTube just to vibe. I think my favorite one that comes to mind is senior year spring break at TCU. I have a couple buddies that I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, and college with. And we all went to Las Vegas for the March Madness setup. We were set up in the Wynn sports book, placing a couple parlays, may have left with some coin back in my pocket. So that was easily my favorite March Madness memory. Vic?
It's an endorsement for sports betting if I've ever heard it.
Look, I heard the Vegas first weekend is an amazing trip.
Yeah, no, my dad's definitely done that before in his time. But a wise street poet by the name of Nevadius Cash once said, "Dress it up and go to NASA. We ballin' like it's March Madness." And we'll be in Houston, home of NASA, for the Final Four. My first Final Four that I get to experience as a journalist. My grandfather, Booker Turner, obviously worked a lot of Final Fours as a referee. So it'll be a full circle moment for me to be able to be there and experience. Hopefully I'll be able to take it in and breathe it a little bit.
Guys, if I call in sick next Thursday, you understand why. But I'll be back for the show, as will all of us next week. Until then, make it a good one, y'all.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more refreshing stories about your community, click the subscribe button over here. You can also download our Spectrum News app and tune in to Channel 55 on Dish and DirecTV to get live news coverage, weather updates every 10 minutes, and more. We'll see you then.